And now it is time for the JBL Travel Minute with Joe Leo in JBL Travel Group, a cruise planners franchise. Cruise Planners is your land and cruise experts, specializing in cruises, all-inclusive resorts, and escorted tours. They're also the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio, an organizer for the Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise every year in May when we go island hopping around the Caribbean. You should always travel with somebody you trust. Reach out to Joe at 732-831-5200 or visit jbltravelgroup.net. Joe Leo and Cruise Planners. Never book a trip without them. And now it is time for the Travel Minute with Joe Leo. Take it away, Joe.
Good morning, everybody. It's Joe Leo with the JBL Travel Group, your Cruise Planners franchise, with this week's Travel Minute. And this week, I have some funny stuff I want to talk about because everybody thinks that, being a travel agent is this glorious job and, we just sit here all day and take reservations. But there has been a number of funny things that have happened. And I was just on a webinar the other day with a bunch of other travel agents, cruise planner travel agents, talking about crazy requests we've had. So one of the first ones that always comes to mind with me is that, somebody calls up and says, hey, I want to go on a cruise from Miami, and it has to be between, let's say, November 15th and December 15th. So I go through the search process and send them the what's available from those dates out of Miami on the different cruise lines. They call me back and they tell me that none of the cruises that I sent them fit their schedule. Because they're leaving on a Saturday. And I guess that what they want me to do is call the cruise line and ask the cruise line if they can leave on Monday or Tuesday. But these are the schedules that are sent by the cruise line. And that's happened more than once. Those, and it's within the dates they asked me to do it, but it's those dates don't fit them. They don't want to leave on a Saturday or Sunday. They want to leave on a Monday. And anyway, that's number one. Number two, as we actually had a client one time that called up and said, I would like a short cruise from South Florida to Australia. And it took me like 20 minutes to explain to them that they couldn't cruise from South Florida to Australia. And the reason why they wanted to do that is because they didn't want to fly to Australia to take a cruise out there. Here's another one. This was probably one of the most bizarre. I had a client that called me up and said that they wanted a room at a particular resort where their room was facing the moon so that they could charge their crystals at night on the windowsill. And, I called the hotel said, we can't guarantee that it's going to be facing the moon. One story went after another. So we did wind up booking those clients, and they complained to the hotel that they didn't like their room because the room number was an unlucky number to them. So the hotel was very accommodating, moved their room, and fortunately found one that was a good number that they liked, and also where they could charge their crystals at night because it was on the right side of the hotel where the moon was. So these are not jokes. This is real life stuff. I've had people call and say, hey, I want to go to Hawaii, but I don't like to fly. Can I go by boat? Talking about Hawaii, do they really serve American food in Hawaii? Yeah, they serve American food. They serve Hawaiian food. They serve American food. And this was even, do I need a passport to go to Hawaii? Well, not if you live in the United States, I could go on and on and on. One of my agent friends had a client that said, I want to save money when I go to Hawaii, so I want to fly to Honolulu. But since the islands are all so close to each other, is there any way I can drive to each island instead of taking a hopper flight to the next island? So we're going to go out there and we're going to build a bridge for them between the islands so they can rent a car and they can drive. This was the best one. They're all good. This is the best one. I'm going to leave on a cruise out of New York City, going south. It's going to go to Orlando and Nassau, and then it's going to go to the private island. But can the cruise line stop along the way in Virginia to pick up some of my family members? And then my last one, no, I have two more. One was, my spouse can't leave the U.S. legally, so is there any way that I can sneak them onto a cruise line? And then the last one, One of the other agents had a client that actually called them and said they wanted to fly home 3 days earlier from their trip because they found out that the hotel that they were staying at didn't have a TV channel that was playing a football game that they wanted to see. So they wanted to come home early so they could see the game. These are things that make you go, Anyway, this is Joe Leo, the JBL Travel Group, a cruise planners franchise, with this week's Travel Minute. I hope it gave you some kind of a laugh. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Joe. You've been listening to the award-winning JBL Travel Minute with Joe Leo with JBL Travel Group, a cruise planners franchise. If you're looking to take a trip, always travel with somebody you trust. Reach out to Joe at 732-831-5200, the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio. Tune in every Sunday at noon for the JBL Travel Minute with Joe Leo. You'll learn something new every week.